Okay, so I'm going to talk about display ads and how they are the most profitable, magical thing that you could ever do on the internet. They are, if you are looking for business, I've seen 1,000% return on investment, even bigger than that. And I'm going to explain how. But let me show you this website. This is a website that I own. This is a site that, let me move over here so you can see it. Let me see if I can move this down just a touch, and so you can really see it here. Okay. All right. So this is the site. It's called 10xdisplayads.com. And what it starts out here, and this is the truth right here. Your website, like most business sites, all share the same problem. 96% of website visitors come in, they look around, and then they leave. So what if you could track those people and keep in touch with them after they leave their site? So this is it's a big part of our business. This is something that my agency focuses on for primarily real estate brokers, financial companies, brokers, um, and even owners of property. We do a lot of work with owners. I was a broker. I have owned property, and I'm still very involved in the real estate business. But I do have this marketing agency, and a big part of it is display ads. And the reason why is because people come to your website and they leave. And if you don't have a mechanism for tracking them after they leave, you may not have their email. Be nice if you have their email, then you can continue marketing via email. But if you don't, and you can actually use your email list to send people over to your site to trigger what's called the retargeting pixel. Now, what happens, and how does it work, right? Have you ever gone to Amazon and looked at a book or tool and didn't buy it right away? Then you leave Amazon, and have you ever seen that same tool, that same book start appearing on all the different websites you visit? Well, you can do the exact same thing here. Now, here, and I'm going to walk you through. I'm going to show you some more samples in a minute. But this is sort of like what it would look like on a desktop, right? So this is the New York Post, and this is Cogent Realty, who we work with in New York. We've worked with Mitch for years, and this has really just skyrocketed his leads and new business, because people come in. He's got a great strategy, great information, and like I'm just going to show you right here. Here's his page right on at the World Trade Center, One World Trade Center, and it's really, really good information. It's got all kinds of it's got floor plans, it's got everything that you would need to know to get a really good handle. Plus it's got pricing information broken down by you know different floors, different sizes, how much it is on a per square foot basis, how much it is on an annualized basis and a monthly basis. And that's really made a big difference for Mitch. But if you look right here, if I go back over here, office space costs at the World Trade Center, you can see Mitch has got the AI overview. He is the leading source of information based on this strategy. So he gets all these people coming to his website. They land on his World Trade Center page or any of the other pages. We've done this same strategy with many, many buildings. So they land on his page. I mean, he's got the top visibility, so he's got tremendous credibility, number one. They click through, they look at his information, they love it. But they may forget about it, right? They may not, they may be gone, right? They may never remember, maybe a month later they are looking again, but maybe they search something different and they don't find him. Well, this is a way to stay in front of him over and over. So let me go back over here. Now you can go over here onto the real estate tab, and on the upper right, and I go into, this works for tenant rep brokers. I mean, this is amazing for tenant rep brokers, but it's also amazing for investment sales brokers, whether you're selling land, development sites, apartment buildings, shopping centers, triple net lease sale, marinas, mobile home parks, RV parks. The beauty of this, especially on the cold traffic, so like there's two types of traffic, right? There's cold traffic, which are people that have never been on your website. So we can target that profile of that person, whether they're in a 5-mile radius, a 10-mile radius, 25, 50-mile radius. I mean, you can go nationwide if you want. That starts to get expensive. But when somebody clicks your ad and they go to your website, they trigger what's called the retargeting pixel. And the retargeting pixel is what follows them over and over and over. So we create this whole video right here. It explains the whole process. So I'm not going to get into it here, but if you're interested, go to 10xdisplayads.com, click the real estate tab on the top of the site, and this will tell you everything that you need to know about retargeting ads. Now, I want to just show you some of the ads that we create. Now, let me click this here. Increase the size a little bit so you can see it. Okay, cool. All right, so right here you got the New York Post. You've got the ad right here, and this happens to be actually a cold traffic ad. So this is somebody that we were able to get the visibility on the New York Post. Now, this is not going to everybody in the New York Post. It's only going to specific profiles. These are people that are maybe going and looking at the Real Deal, or they might be on LoopNet or Crexy. They might be people that, we've got very, very specific parameters, so we can target the avatar so that these ads are not showing to people that don't fit this profile. You don't want somebody who is, never going to be in the business to see these ads. So that's the cold traffic part. Again, I showed you this. Now, here's a sample ad, very specific. So we're targeting the 500 to 5,000 square foot tenant. Could be lawyers, could be CPAs, could be tech companies. We can get very, very specific. Call, phone number right on here, so you can call right off the ad. Now, if you click the ad will take you over to the website. Once you land on the website, it triggers the retargeting ads. So now the retargeting ads will follow them around, and the cold traffic ads will stop showing to the person that has triggered the retargeting pixel. Pretty neat, right? So here's another ad: office space rentals, tenant only broker, phone number. So we're using different identification factors, right? The World Trade Center. This is the building up. I think this is up in Midtown. This is Rockefeller Center, and so we're showing like different parts of the city, right? So we're trying to use images of things that people will recognize, like real iconic type of buildings that will catch somebody's attention. Here's another one: office space, New York City, 500 to 5,000 square feet, tenant only. So we're being very, very niche specific, trying to do, I was a broker, and I've owned properties, and I'm still involved in owning properties. And, so we're looking at, being very, very niche specific. That's where the conversion is, in the niche, right? Here's another one: New York City small office space. For Cogent Realty, he operates by himself. So if he's doing, 1,000 square foot to 5,000 square foot deals, and he's, at $60, $70, $80 a foot, or even $100 a foot, those are really, really sweet commissions, because he doesn't have to share it with another firm. Offices for lease, move-in condition, 123 Fifth Avenue. Let me see. I've got some other ones here. Where are we? Yeah, this one right here. This one here. This is really great. If you're marketing a building for rent, or if you're an owner that wants to keep in front of the brokers over and over and over. You got a million buildings like in New York City, or in anywhere in the United States, whether you're in San Francisco, you're down in Florida, you're in Dallas, wherever you are. If you're doing this kind of market, you're going to be top of mind all the time. You're not just an afterthought. You're just not another building sitting on a corner, at 55th and Madison. So, and here's like a nice red learn more, click here. So you can click here, and it takes you right over to, a relevant space. Could take you right over to the 55th Street building, or it could take you to a general building with, a general page on a website that's got lots of buildings. Like if you're a broker, you could have a whole slew of buildings on that particular page. And this is really how you can turbocharge, your return, and stay in front of people all the time without cold calling and without all the mailings and all that kind of stuff. This solution solves a really, really big problem for a lot of people. So anyway, that's the story with that. Again, I don't think I introduced myself, but I'm Ed Winslow. You can find me on LinkedIn. We have a school group with, we've got 600 brokers, I think 600 or 700 brokers at this point. And we have, I've got a website called proofstacking.ai. I've got this right here. This is if you're looking for a business model, whether it's, for you or for your team, this is the whole business model. It gets into the whole business model of how to build an exclusive listing business. And what goes into websites, what goes into newsletters, SEO, some basics about SEO, how to get your SEO going the right way, how to define your market the right way, all the things that I wish that I had when I started. But I took this model that I learned starting at CB many years ago, and also working with Bob Knackel. And then I applied it online with tremendous results for properties that I owned. And then I started doing it for a lot of others. People started to seek me out. But this is, this is all about, this is a business model all around. I've got this book here called Proof Stacking. I wrote this. And, you'll read, there's a lot of information from Bob Knackel, who, if you don't know Bob, he's the #1 commercial real estate broker in the country. He's set all kinds of records. He's like the greatest of all time, and he's amazing. And I built Bob's whole internet strategy at bobknackel.com and bkrea.com, and we manage all his SEO for him, which has been wildly successful. So, anyway, hope this is helpful to you. Look forward to seeing you. Hopefully, hopefully you'll join us, and see you in the next video.